So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here's the intro.
I make a living in the movies, but for the past 20 years,
11825 code 6.
I've also been a cop. And along with some of the finest deputies on the force, I serve the people of Jefferson Parish, Louisiana.
Code 94G.
My name is Steven Seagal.
All units respond.
That's right, Steven Seagal, Deputy
right.
Sheriff.
That's right.
Hello and welcome to the worst TV show ever made, an experimental movie podcast designed with one thing in mind: to find the worst TV show ever made. I'm your host, Chris Ackman. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow mad scientist, Rob Scucci and Bob Hassick. Hey guys, how are you and why are we doing Steven Seagal's Lawman?
I'm so fucking happy. That's how I'm doing. And we're doing Steven Seagal Lawman because it's the holidays. We've been doing this for what? This is our 182nd week now. We banked an episode. We took some time off. We're refreshed. We're reinvigorated. And then I immediately crushed Chris's and Bob's spirits by suggesting that we do a relaxed episode and talk about Steven Seagal's Lawman, which is streaming in its entirety on Tubi. Hey, Bob, how are you?
Oh, now that I've seen Steven Seagal's Lawman, I'm a worse person.
It's fucking
I'm a worse human being because knowing that Chris watches reality shows makes me realize I've missed nothing. I've missed as much as I thought. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm missing nothing.
But Steven Seagal running really fast with his arms too. It's like, come on, brother.
Slow down, brother.
Yes. Seeing Steven Seagal off script is as funny as I imagine.
Yeah, it's amazing. Let's talk about it, man. I know we're not playing the bumpers, but Bob, if you want to explain this shit TV show, I wouldn't mind. What are we watching here?
So, without prepping anything, Steven Seagal apparently has been deputized by the borough of something
Parish County,
Louisiana, Parish County in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And he is working alongside actual trained police officers where he is just along for the ride, though still enforcing law.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. Yeah.
Hey,
and
when you're done, I'm going to addend that.
It seems to be, generally speaking, drug offenses and domestic violence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob. Addend.
This is straight off the Wikipedia page. So, like, it's funny because I imagine Steven Seagal wrote his own Wikipedia page because he's a legend in his own mind. So, just to add this, according to Seagal, in the late 1980s, Jefferson Parish's longtime sheriff Harry Lee asked Seagal to train some of his deputies in martial arts. The actor further claimed that the success of these classes led to Lee asking Seagal to join the department as a reserve deputy. The article notes that the Peace Officer Standards and Training Organization, which accredits police officers, has no record of Seagal being certified. In this show, that is basically Cops with Steven Seagal.
Yeah. I want to say episode 1 lays that out.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't write that because he first of all, it would have said, like, I went to Jefferson Parish County. Steven.
Strike through on the text. Yeah, Steven. And he's typing it with a fake mustache the whole time, just so he doesn't get had.
Yeah. Shit. All right. Well, what you just heard, you might hear in a clip as well. By the way, so Seagal, as you heard from the intro that we did, has been a cop for 20 years. His claims of being 20 years of service are unconfirmed, as Rob said. But it also says that he was sworn into a mostly ceremonial role of reserve deputy chief.
Yeah.
And that's around the time the show begins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna play some clips and talk some shit. So let's start with the first clip of the day.
Okay. And just for the record, we in the tradition of our unpreparedness, we didn't label any of these. We're just gonna go in blind.
Nope. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna hear these for the second or first time.
Let me set that over again. Here we go.
At the time I'd become a police officer, I'd already been studying the martial arts for most of my life. I got involved in the movie business, and was down in the South. And the late, great Harry Lee, who was the sheriff of Jefferson Parish, asked me then to demonstrate martial arts weapons retention to some of the police officers down here. And he was so pleased with what I was doing, he asked me to come on to the force and be one of his cops.
Nope.
Nope.
Definitely not. You know what's so funny about that clip?
What's that?
There is a picture, like, / video of, it's like B-roll while he's talking.
Yeah.
And it's of him being sworn in. And
Yeah.
he is just as fat and greasy and old as he is in this show.
Yeah.
It definitely was not 20 years ago.
Yeah.
When, like, they show pictures of him with cops when he was younger. But
Yeah.
they don't show a picture of him being sworn in then.
Yeah.
They show a picture of
Yeah.
him being sworn in at this time in, like, 2009 when this show was first filmed.
Yes.
Which is still a
so-
long time ago, but not long enough.
Steven Saboom
Yeah.
Boom. Lying through his teeth as always.
Yes. Yes. How about clip number 2?
Yeah. And then I want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
Throughout the series, I've watched way more of these episodes than I reckon you guys both have. And in every episode, there's one
Yes.
instance where he's like patrolling. You hear someone like, "Oh, is that Steven Seagal?" And he's just like modestly waves.
Yeah, I've seen that like once.
All right, number 2. Here we go.
As a lifelong practitioner of the martial arts, we're trained to remain calm in the face of adversity and danger. When the world is speeding by for others, I see things for what they are. A cock of the head, a foot planted forward or back, a flick of the wrist. They all tell me something. Whether somebody's gonna fight, pull a gun, or run.
Oh my God! Get over yourself.
Do you guys
Yeah,
follow?
this all goes back to the "damn he's good" trope.
Yeah. Do you guys follow
Yes,
the subreddit
really
r/I am very badass?
Yes, I do.
Of course we don't.
So-
You do.
So Bob,
I do.
The whole
And it's
premise
awesome.
it's people like me, you, and Chris like finding other people on Facebook who are talking about how tough they are, and then like just loading it to Reddit and making fun of it. And it's basically like, you know, the people like the boomers in Costco wearing the shirt, and it's like if you see me running, you better follow. Like one of those type of shirts.
Yeah,
it's like that shit. Stomp my flag, I'll eat your ass. You know, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
That's Steven Seagal to a T.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bob, I think that he thinks he's good outside of movies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he can tell by this body language from driving by in the dark. He can tell,
Right.
Hey, there's a flick of the wrist. That guy's in trouble.
That guy's got a gun. I'll fit
The-
it, check
the
it
old-
out.
The old ride along assessment of danger
Yeah.
that he's doing this entire season. All right, let's talk about clip number 3.
All right, here we go.
If I don't pass weapons qualification, I definitely don't want to be behind a desk. I heard Chief Seagal's a heck of a shot, and I'm going to ask him for pointers to help me knock off the rust.
Oh, this clip. Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna start out close, shoot a bullet hole. He's supposed to try to shoot it in the bullet hole.
Put it in the same hole. Damn.
What the hell?
I'm trying to pass out some of the secrets that have made me a master shooter. I don't want to just help Alex pass this test, but I want him to be a better marksman for life. All right, ready? Damn. Both in the same hole, buddy. Here's you. I want you to do this. Yeah.
Blade.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I really did.
Okay.
Well, all through this episode, he's like, "Here's you. You're doing this,
Yeah.
and I want you to do this.
Yeah.
You see the difference? You do this. I want you to do this. You
It
see
was
what I
like
mean?
it's like a millimeter away from him being Patrick Swayze and Ghost helping the chick with the pottery, like slowly reaching from behind him, just raising him.
It was also yeah, exactly. The funky bass along with saying something like, you gotta get it in the same hole.
Yeah, the just jazz in the background.
We're both gonna shoot into the same hole, pal. Hey, another thing I want to remark on with that clip there that you just saw, they're 10 feet away from the target.
Yeah.
Seagal's like the master shooter, right? And
Yeah.
he's standing 10 fucking feet from the target, and the guy is like, damn, I can't believe he shot him right in the head. He shot the target right in the middle of the head. It's like anyone would.
I was really hoping he'd be holding the gun still, and the camera would like do a full like 360 rotation, just make it look like he's badass, and then go straight through the heart of the target.
Yeah, I was hoping.
Like
Something
Angelina Jolie in Salt. Like he shoots it, and then you just watch the bullet. Like he can get some curve on it, like English on the bullet. Oh man, we should probably do that movie because they do that in that movie.
Okay,
where
down.
they can turn the gun as they're shooting it and make the bullet like turn
like a bowling ball on a 7-10 split. You gotta put some spin
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that'll be a movie next week. I haven't seen the poll.
Yeah.
Why not? It is up.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's throw it to our next clip.
Number 4. Here we go.
It's been up for many minutes,
days, and others.
Several
Got
and
the
many
Asian
minutes.
Kind of Zen lesson. You're not doing.
One second. All right,
And others.
Yes, others minutes.
This is number 4, right? Okay, so 11 minutes in. All right, let's go.
Got the Asian kind of Zen lesson. You're not doing this anymore. You're doing this. Well, Alex, that was a good range session, but let's get back on patrol.
You got the Asian men thing. You're not doing this. You're doing this. Here he goes again with that shit.
Is this the episode where he talks about like the Orientals, or is that the acupuncture one that you may not have seen?
All right, play clip number 5.
Is this? My brain's mush, dude. I'm sorry.
Remember, when a target faces you, draw your weapon, approach a barricade, and commence firing. Watch your target.
Police, don't move!
If a police officer is not prepared as a last result to use his weapon, he shouldn't be a police officer.
All right, next stage of fire is going to be 12 rounds, 25 seconds. And we'll check his target.
Man, I think that lesson helped you, buddy. We'll see.
Oh, damn it.
Did I miss it?
Yeah, I think so. But that's okay. He's like, yeah, but you know, like when you're shooting the bullets, you're like a Zen archer. The Zen archers, they know how to they don't pull it, they push it, and they guide it. The Zen archers push it and guide it. And I meant to look up whether or not there is such thing as like Chinese Zen archers, but I bet you there isn't.
We're on the air.
Chinese. Let's fucking do it. Zen a little archers. Little bonus episode. Search.
Chinese archery.
Zen archers.
Zen is related to archery in a few ways. Kyudo, a Japanese martial art and a form of archery that's closely associated with Zen Buddhism. All right, so it's like, I guess there's two disciplines that run adjacently, and then they call it that sometimes.
They call it Zen archery.
I guess. That's all the thought I'm willing to put into it.
It's unconfirmed.
It's unconfirmed. Yes, it's
unconfirmed.
It's Seagal confirmed.
Yes.
So that's what I had for that was episode number 1 of Lawman.
The way of the gun.
Yes. Yeah. And I have a few clips from episode number 9. This is Crack War. Starting with a really offensive clip. Let's play clip number 6.
Oh God, I hope I clip this one right. Here we go.
Mexican guy says to black guy, I'm gonna give you $10, you go buy me some beer, I'm gonna loan you my car. Black guy borrows his car, goes to supposedly buy him some beer, and all of a sudden, he gets out of the car for some reason, and somebody hits him on the head, and the car goes missing.
You don't have no driver's license or nothing, you know that?
Tell me that.
What do they call it?
Yeah,
what do they call? What do they call the drop? Where like you borrow someone's car in exchange for like payment and crack? They had a term for it.
It was like a rock something.
Like a rock sale or a rock exchange.
Rock drop. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so that was a rock drop. That to me sounded like a really bad joke setup.
Mexican and a black man walk into a bar.
Mexican guy pays a black guy to go get him beer. So the Mexican guy takes the car and whatever. I just don't think you talk like that unless you are categorizing people in your mind the way that you shouldn't be.
That was a very elegant way of putting it, Chris. Thank you for showing that appropriate amount of restraint.
You're welcome.
Yes.
How about some really weird Seagal? We gotta mix that in. You know how he's like really strange and doesn't interact with people well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's throw it to clip number 7.
Speaking of one thing we could do, I'm going to volunteer one of my warriors to participate in the legs contest.
And that's my partner right here.
The Bridge House depends on charitable donations. They're having a large benefit in the next few days. Best leg contest.
Leg.
We think Larry Dice may win. Thank you, Buzzer. God bless y'all.
Yeah. So he volunteered one of his warriors
to show some leg to raise money for crack addicts.
And he's the ceremonial deputy chief, but he's donating one of his warriors to the leg contest.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been battling a cold. I just feel like these guys are. I don't know if you guys want to comment on this, but they're just constantly patrolling around, acting like total assholes, trying to find problems.
They're literally, they're not responding to calls. They're driving around going like, that guy's tags are done. Let's see if we can find weed on him.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's also so many patrol officers on one route. Like that would never happen in any other town.
No. They're like, Seagal's like, it's me and Rowdy and Steve, and we're all in the SUV. And then the other SUV, it has Larry and Johnson and Larry Johnson.
Yeah, there had to have been like a. There had to have been like, because there's probably like what in a precinct that they probably like 50 officers across all shifts, and there's probably only 6 that will willingly sign the NDA and like the waiver to be on TV. Like I'm not touching the fucking 10-foot pole.
Also, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that maybe 2 of them are like legitimate officers, and the rest are like Seagal, and that's why they can get away with this.
Probably. Like you can't actually physically touch anybody.
Here's the thing though. I don't think a lot of it is scripted because there was a lawsuit from using excessive force that got an episode pulled.
Yes.
When he drove his tank onto some guy's chicken farm.
Is that what happened?
Was that it?
I think it was something like that. It was in the I factored that one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You're right. When he was trying to get Burger King or whatever, right?
He landed an airplane in a Burger King parking lot.
That was false. That was a lie. That was a lie.
Well, you never know with him. All right, I got one more clip before we throw it to our other notes and comments. So let's play clip number 8.
Yeah, and then I got some abusers I'll pepper through out. So number 8 is coming up right now.
We've also found copious amounts of prophylactics, 3 girls, 1 guy, and porn on the TV. I don't know what kind of party they were having, but we're about to run the names and see what kind of priors they got.
JP 17, $5.99. I got a black male.
What y'all doing here?
What?
You know what happens around here. There's a lot of prostitution and there's a lot of drugs.
Were you smoking it earlier today?
You use drugs?
No.
It's just hard for me to believe that you don't use drugs.
I kind of get the feeling that these girls are not being exactly straight with us. With the crack pipes in the room, I'm sure there's something going on.
You guys know you don't have rooms here, right?
Look, Max said he don't want y'all over here.
Yeah, there's like the one officer's like, 1044. I've got a black male.
And then it just cuts away. They never give closure to that call.
Oh, back up. Dispatch.
Is he innocent? Quick!
Quick!
Unload it.
Yeah, but further accusatory, the same guy is like, I have a really hard time believing that you guys don't do drugs. Just based on what? Their appearance?
Yeah, I mean, like
exactly.
Profiling. You've got the mouth, the meth mouth where you don't have like teeth or anything.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you do meth.
Also, like, I personally, if I were having an orgy, I would want to be lucid for that.
Yeah.
So I could record it with my mind and add it to my spank bank for later times I need it.
Yeah, well, they blurred their faces. Yeah. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't want to remember what that looked like. Maybe I wouldn't want to see it in the moment. Just feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spiraling sensation of shame.
Cocaine or crack or whatever they're doing. Yeah. Maybe that blurs blurs the faces enough that you don't have to ask them to put on paper bags or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So why don't we throw it on now with a sprinkle of abusers in to our other notes and comments for the worst TV show ever made. I'm just going to go ahead. At some point, Steven Seagal goes, "Go to the right," when they're in the car chase, right? And the cop driving goes, "Steven, let me drive." And then Seagal goes, "I'm just telling you where the holes are." Because he's like, the cop is actually in a little chase here, and Steven Seagal's trying to like backseat drive, and the guy's actually getting pissed off.
The guy's actually doing his job as an officer to maintain the peace.
I was honestly surprised they kept that in. I was very surprised they kept it in. I didn't think they would.
There was one, and I think it was like episode 2 or 3, where like some guy they show up to a scene, someone had been shot, and like you see Steven Seagal standing over here, and the paramedics load the guy on the stretcher, and then like they do all the work without Steven. He's like, "Oh yeah, I helped him because he was laying on his side, and that's fatal, and you can't do that." And like they're all looking at him like, "No, you didn't. We were here. You were over there. They were over there. You had nothing to do with that." But he has to insert himself into every scenario to make him the hero of the day, and that's what makes it so fucking entertaining.
Well, to that point, Rob, I didn't add this into my notes and comments, but there was a guy that they arrested that apparently had like a hockey mask.
Yes.
Like tucked in his back pocket. And Seagal's like, "Oh, I pulled that out of his back pocket. I was the one who pulled it out."
And then like he does the thing where he looks left and right to make sure people are like giving him the affirmative
that everybody
nod.
heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And nobody cares who like got the hockey mask out of his pocket?
Yeah, no one gives a fuck.
Seaven Seagal just like went to his car. Yeah.
Yeah. To hop on some oxygen balloons because he ran a couple blocks.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm gonna play an abuser real quick. All right. This is about a bag of weed, I think.
Green vegetable substance, which is after it's tested, I'm sure it's going to be marijuana. Where was it?
Green vegetable substance?
You need to have it tested to make sure it's clearly a eighth or a quarter ounce of weed and like multiple bags of eighths or quarters of weed.
Yeah. So somebody put 2 pounds of oregano in a plastic bag and threw it in this bush.
Yeah. It's like I think what I think he was trying to do there. I think because like he's like an officer without media training. I think he was trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, we found some vegetable stuff. I wonder what that is." But like it just did not translate on screen.
Allegedly, it's marijuana. Like that's the procedure the cops would do. And then Seagal's like, "This is a crack pipe." Yep, it's a crack pipe.
Rubs it on his teeth real quick. Make sure his teeth don't go numb.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bob, you want to say anything about either episode that we haven't covered?
I'm only gonna throw it to the last episode. It was the last episode of the second season. Seagal leans into his Asian herbal training, is for lack of a better term, where he tries to help his coworker with his flu symptoms. And I guess there's another skeptical coworker who won't do like herbal shit, and they like rub them with oils and cinnamon and ginseng and God knows what else. And they make like a special tea, and they go through all this like. It's really funny. It's funny because hearing Seagal pronounce the stuff, and then hearing the Chinese people actually pronounce the stuff, or the Japanese people. I shouldn't even try to assume what ethnicity they are, because I don't think Seagal knows. But it's really
probably
funny.
Not.
And if you're
they're from somewhere in New Orleans.
No.
If you're into seeing Seagal act like he knows shit and he doesn't, tune into episode last one of the second season. It's on Tubi.
Nice. They're rubbing him in Janzang and Xanaman.
So, Bob, to your point, season 1, episode 8, it's called Medicine Man. There was a chase where John Fortunato, he's like the gray-haired, spiky gray-haired dude, He hops a fence. He's like he's like in his mid-50s probably, right? He's getting up there close to retirement, and he scales a few fences, leaving Steven in the dust, of course. And he hurts his knee, and he's like, I gotta take it to get some acupuncture. And he's just like, I don't like needles. And he goes there, and he's just like, all right, well, we're we're gonna focus on your gut first. So we're gonna flick some needles into you, and like Steven Seagal's like flicking the needles in him to like it'll control your appetite and help you lose some weight. And he's like, all right, you won me over. Now I'm gonna come back for another session to have him do acupuncture on my knee. And he says all this shit about how, like, oh, I learned like the medicine of the Orientals, and like I don't think isn't that a pejorative? Isn't Oriental now a pejorative term? Like you're not supposed to call it Oriental. Yeah.
No,
yes, exactly.
I recognize there is a group of people from the Orient, but they're not called Orientals. Like
yes,
right,
correct.
So, but he says Orientals like 5 or 6 times, like in earnest, non-ironically.
Yeah, because that's who he is.
Yeah,
that is who he is. He can never be wrong, so he will not correct that language until the day he dies. Rob, what do you got?
I got one more abuser, real quick. So here we go.
And it was so profound.
That's kind of, deep.
It was so profound. It's kind of, deep.
It's kind of, that's so, the quip, the improv that they go to Steven Seagal for, because
that was when
can mad lib with the best of them.
They pulled over like an 80-year-old couple, not realizing their passenger door and their trunk's open because there's like a piece of wood hanging out the back from like Home Depot.
Right.
And like so they put the sirens on, and the old lady, not knowing, like flips them off because she thought like, they've been honking at us all day. And like, I think that had to have been a stage sequence, the whole thing.
Had to be.
Yeah, I think so too. Because the guy you were talking about, the spiky-haired 55-year-old or whatever, Fortuna or whatever his name was, he's like, oh, she's giving me a turn signal, and then it didn't land, and then they got out of the car, and he's like, oh, she gave
I've
me
never seen a turn signal like that before.
Yeah, and then it doesn't land, and he's like, hey, ma'am, I see you're giving me some directions. He's like looking for the camera crew to laugh on the third.
And meanwhile, the old lady's like living in the present second, and the one she just left, like completely unaware of her surroundings. So like not even with the wherewithal or mental fortitude to even put that together, even if it was close to being a solid joke.
Yeah. Like, who are you? There was a moment where one of the cops gets out of the SUV and slams the cameraman in the head with the door. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Oh, I did not see
that. Was
that.
in episode 1.
Oh man!
Episode 1 also featured goatee guy. Did you guys see the goatee guy, where his like goatee came gradually to a point at his ears?
Yes. Yeah.
I couldn't decide on that one. I feel like good attempt.
It was like the Loveless sideburn from Wild Wild West.
Yes, like that, only cheaper.
Yes.
Worse.
Worser. Yeah. I've got 2 more. Okay. Steven Seagal says, Aikido literally means the way of peace and harmony. I looked it up. It's actually the way of harmony with universal energy. So he was wrong about the thing he's a master of.
Oh, the thing he devoted his entire adult life to, and most of his teenage years.
Yeah, he doesn't know what the definition is. Also, he says, I don't know how many times, watch this guy's hands. Watch this guy's hands.
Yep.
Watch this guy's hands. And I just think that's hilarious. Like it makes him some kind of...
He does.
All right, that's what I've got for you. You guys want to do anything else, or we'll tell them what we're doing next week?
I just want to point out that there is an episode where it's like episode Too Young to Die, season 1, episode 4. He holds a fundraiser for like childhood cancer or something, and others, as Neil Breen would say. And he does play some blues guitar at a venue where everybody's like, Steven. And to his credit, I'm going to give Steven Seagal some credit here. He is not a terrible guitar player. He's like most people that have resources and like a hobby outside of like their main profession. He's like intermediate, advanced intermediate at best, maybe. But like most pop songs on the radio today can be played by that skill level. So he does bullshit a lot about his guitar collection. I've seen in interviews, but like he knows his way around 6 strings. So I'll extend an olive branch to him.
All right.
He's not great, but he's not terrible either. So
whatever gets him the punani.
The punani. We wanted the punani.
We want the punani. Gonna need an airbag.
Well, that's
all right. Thank you for tuning in to the worst TV show ever made. An experimental movie podcast is designed to find the worst movie or TV show, take your pick, ever made. why don't we play something out if we have it?
Yeah,
if not,
and real quickly, I'm just going to plug www.theworstmovieevermade.com. This is a non-canon episode. We're still going to do like the 10 bad movie for the season and then cap it off with a good one. We just had crazy lives the last couple weeks, and this was just our way of staying in the fold, in the mix, if you will. And we've done enough Steven Seagal where it's just like let's just spend some time watching some Lawman and learning a little bit about ourselves. And then next week we finna talk about another movie that we're gonna talk about in a minute. So
yes.
Did you want to look at the poll and talk about this?
Yeah, I'll take the poll real quick.
Yeah.
With 100% of the vote so far.
Yeah.
Theodore Rex, starring Whoopi Goldberg, will be our movie next episode. So.
Shit.
Whoopi
I gotta watch it tomorrow then.
Yeah. All right. All right, guys. So that's because we're breaking all sorts of traditions this week. Chris recorded a very, very special. It's a theme music. Is it a abstract free jazz? Is it like that guy on TikTok who only moans while beatboxing? I don't know. You decide.
Point.
Go to www.theworstmovieevermade.com and let us know what genre this masterpiece falls into. Bob, do you have a last word?
I'm gonna quote Steven Seagal from one of the episodes.
Okay.
These are the jects. You know, the
projects.
Of course, he has an inside scoop on what to call it that nobody else has knowledge of. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Here's the outro. See you guys next week.
Are you playing the
Your kid has a cute laugh, Chris.
Oh, thanks, man.
I'll give you that. I'm assuming that's your kid and not just like some. You were on a road trip. It could have just been like some kid you picked up at a truck stop. Be like, hey, I'm gonna make a quick TikTok.
You don't know.
You don't know.
All right, so Theodore Rex next week. Regular scheduled time and place at www.theworstmovieevermade.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for being patient with us. And we're sorry that your new obsession is going to be Steven Seagal, Lawman, which you can stream for free on Tubi whenever you want. See you next week.